Caitlin, how do you plan on dealing with the expenses associated with vet school?
So in order to deal with the expenses, I have a couple ideas. So the first thing is that until I get in, I'm going to be working full time, and all the money that I'll be making from my full time job, I'll save and put towards vet school. And so, for example, if I'm applying in this cycle, I wouldn't even start until another year and a half. And so in that year and a half, I'll save all the salary that I earn from my job. And then additionally, if I need any more money for the other couple of years of vet school, after like the first one or two that I have saved, then I'll take out loans for those. And the last thing is that in general, I'm just probably going to only apply to NC State now that I have my residency, so that it would be most affordable. And those are basically the main ways. But also when I'm in vet school, I will also maintain a part-time job.
And what's the full-time job you're working at right now?
Actually, so my full-time job is at IBM, and it's with procurement. So it's like slightly different than this, but it's good because it has given me a lot of business background, so that one day if I want to open up my own clinic, I'll have the business side of that to do it.
Great.
And then Savannah, start off with you. What have you done at clinics that you've worked at?
So I currently work at Care First Animal Hospital on Oberlin. We are a chain where we have 3 locations, and Oberlin happens to be the most busiest because it is basically in the center of Raleigh. So we get most of the cases, most of the, unfortunately, the terrible cases. Just last night we had a dog come in that was having a seizure. And so I had to assist in carrying that dog in, getting the veterinarian in there, and getting that dog stabilized. I shadowed that as that was my first experience with the dog having a seizure, since we don't have that many come in that are having seizures. But also too, I work mainly with shadowing veterinarians, administering vaccinations, administering simple procedures of inserting and extracting catheters. I also maintain the well-being and the husbandry of the animals that are staying there that have had surgery or have had a procedure done that day, making sure that they have the correct fluids that they need, making sure they have the correct diet, that their environment is clean, and making sure that they are just overall very comfortable in the situation that they just experienced. I have shadowed some procedures. I shadowed one of the doctors that did a surgical procedure on a French bulldog that came in that had 2 slip discs, and he was partially paralyzed from the waist down. I have also assisted in his therapy and getting his back legs working again. The surgery was very successful, so he is now our little paraplegic dog that runs around the hospital since he has been surrendered over to us. And so helping with his therapy, giving him the vaccinations he needs, making sure that he's making a speedy recovery just as I would with the other animals.
And which one of those experiences would you consider the most meaningful?
The most meaningful would definitely be the French Bulldog. His name is Hash Brown, and we all call him the gremlin of the hospital because he is unfortunately a little dog aggressive. So any dog he sees, he just absolutely wants to play with them and also barks at them and tries to eat them alive, basically. But he is definitely a really big joy in the hospital when stressful situations come in, when you're doing procedures over 2-3 hours. He always just brings very much, like a lot of joy into the hospital, and he is the most meaningful because going from partially paralyzed from the waist down to where he's twitching his legs now, it's definitely been a uplifting and inspiring case to be able to watch and partially handle, and it gives me hope for the other cases that I experience, and the future cases that I will experience.
And Caitlin, what have you done at the clinics that you've worked at?
So most of my responsibilities were similar to that of what Savannah said. So I assisted with procedures, and I administered vaccinations, and I also got to shadow on a lot of surgeries, so I got to shadow and assist with a lot of them. A lot of dental procedures and a lot of castrations and stuff, like lots of simple procedures, but then like a couple of more advanced procedures. And I got to also shadow or watch on a lot of consults, so just day-to-day small animal consults. And I also was in charge of the cattery, so we would watch up to 20 cats at a time for any cats that were staying overnight or any that were held during the day for observation. And so I was in charge of taking care of all those cats, and a lot of them had medications and stuff, like pills to take and everything like that. And so that was also a main responsibility, and then just cleaning and keeping the hospital overall sterile was another thing that I was in charge of.
And which experience would you consider the most difficult?
Well, one of the surgeries that I had to assist for went on over 2 hours, and I wasn't really expecting it to be as difficult as it was, because it just wasn't something I was used to when I first started. And so I found it a little difficult to like keep my hands so steady when I was holding tools for the vet, and it's just something that I would have to get more used to over time with more procedures.
Okay, thank you. Savannah, what will you do with a DVM if you don't go into private practice?
So if I don't go into my own private practice or go to shadow underneath a veterinarian in a private practice setting, I will more than likely take my DVM to a governmental level or work within food animals. I have a lot of experience and good experience in food animal and large animal and performance livestock. That I understand how they behave, I understand the basic procedures and maintenance that they need. And so I feel that taking my DVM to a food animal or a governmental level for food animal would be very, very beneficial to me.
Okay, and was there a particular experience that made you interested in food animal medicine?
So yes, so me and my family had an operation with food animal. We also had the same one with performance livestock, and I really enjoyed what we did. I enjoyed going to the auctions to get them to doctor them back up to